Good day, students! For today's lesson, we're going to discuss about the life and works of Rizal from its chapter 4, the Scholastic Triumphs at Ateneo de Manila. Rizal was sent to Manila 4 months after the martyrdom of Camburza and with door-to-door cell in prison. He studied in Ateneo Municipal, a college under the supervision of the Spanish Jesuits. With the arrival of the Dominican-owned College of San Juan de Letran, formerly the Escolapia or the Charity School for Poor Boys in Manila, established in 1817. In 1859, the name was changed to Ateneo Municipal by the Jesuits and later become the Ateneo de Manila. On June 10, 1872, Jose accompanied by Paciano went to Manila to take the entrance examination of Christian doctrine, arithmetic, and reading at College of San Juan de Letran, and passed them. His father was the first one who wished him to study at Letran, but he changed his mind and decided to send it at Ateneo instead. Father Imagine Fernando, a college registrar of Ateneo Municipal, refused to admit Jose because of these two things. He was late for registration and he was sickly undersized for his age of being 11 years old. Manuel Cerex Burgos, a nephew of Father Burgos, upon his intercession, Jose Rizal was admitted to Ateneo. Jose used Rizal instead of Mercado because the name Mercado had become under suspicion of the Spanish authorities. He boarded in a house of Caraballo Street, owned by Titay, who owed Rizal family in 300 pesos. Jesuit trained the character of the student by rigid discipline, humanities, and religious instruction. The students heard the Mass in the morning, before the beginning of the daily class, and classes were opened and closed with prayers. The students were divided into two groups: the Roman Empire, consisting the innermost borders with red banners, and Carthaginian Empire, composed of externals or non-borders with blue banners. Each of the empires has its own ranked students vote for position. Any students could challenge any of his officer in his empire to answer the question on this lesson: first best, emperor; second best, tribune; third best, decurion; fourth best, centurion; fifth best, standard bearer. Ateneo students' uniforms consisted of hemp fabric trousers and striped cotton coat. The coat was called rayadillo and was adopted as the uniform of the Filipino troops during the days of First Philippine Republic. On June 1872, first day of class in Ateneo, Father Jose Beck was the first professor of Rizal. Rizal was placed at the bottom of the class since he was a newcomer and knows little Spanish. He was an external and was assigned to Carthaginians. At the end of the month, he became emperor of his empire. He was the brightest pupil in the whole class. He took private lesson in Santa Isabel College and paid 3 pesos for extra Spanish lesson. He placed second at the end of the year, although all his grades were still marked excellence. During his summer vacation, on March 1873, Rizal returned to Colombo for summer vacation. His sister Nining or Saturnina brought him to Tanawan to cheer him up, and visited his mother in prison at Santa Cruz without telling his father. After vacation, he returned to Manila for his second-year term in Ateneo. He boarded inside Intramuros at number 6 Magallanes Street. Doña Pipay, a landlady, was an old widow and had a widowed daughter and 4 sons. During his second year in Ateneo, Rizal lost the leadership, but he repented and even studied harder. Once more, he became emperor. He received excellent grades in all subjects and a gold medal. He had 3 classmates from Binyan, who had also been his classmates in the school of Maestro Justiniano. His mother's prosperity. Doña Tudora told her son of her dream in the previous night. Rizal was interpreting the dream, told her that she would be released in prison in 3 months' time. It became true. She likened her son to the youthful Joseph in the Bible and his ability to interpret dreams. Rizal's teenage interest. The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexander Dumas was Rizal's first favorite novel. He also read the non-fiction Cesar Cantu's historical work in universal history. He also read Travels in Philippines by Fyodor Jagger. In this book, he foretold that someday Spain would lose the Philippines and that America would come to succeed here as colonizers. During his third year in Ateneo, shortly after the opening of the classes, his mother was released from prison. Rizal did not make excellent showing in studies. He failed to win the Medal of Spanish because his spoken was not fluently sonorous. In his fourth year in Ateneo, on June 16, 1875, he became an interno in Ateneo. Father Francisco de Paulo Sanchez inspired him to study harder and write poetry. Rizal described him as a model of uprightness, earnestness, and love for the advancement of his pupils. He returned to Colombo with 5 medals and excellent ratings. In his last year in Ateneo on June 1876, the most brilliant Atenean of this time and the pride of Jesuits was Rizal. He obtained the highest grades in all subjects. In his graduation, he was excellent scholastic records from 1872 to 1877. On March 23, 1877, commencement day, 16 years old Rizal received from his alma mater the degree of Bachelor of Arts with highest honors. His extracurricular achievements. He was an emperor inside the classroom and campus leader outside. He was a secretary of Marian Congregation. He was a member of Academy of Spanish Literature and Academy of Natural Science. He studied painting under the famous Spanish painter Agustin Saez. The sculptural works of Rizal. He carved an image of the Virgin Mary in a priest of Baticoline. Father Leonard requested him to carve an image of the Sacred Heart of Jesus. Ateneo students placed the image on the door of the dormitory and remained there for many years. The anecdotes of Rizal in Ateneo. Felix M. Ramos, one of Rizal's contemporaries in Ateneo. Manuel Cerex Burgos, whose house Rizal boarded shortly before he became an interno. The poems written in Ateneo by Rizal. Mi Primera Inspiración, first poem he wrote for his mother's birthday. In 1875, inspired by Father Sanchez, wrote more poems such as Felicitación, El Embarque Himno a la Flota de Magallanes, or The Departure of the Magellan's Fleet. In 1876, Rizal wrote poems on various topics. Un recuerdo a mi pueblo, in my memory of my town. Alianza íntima entre la religión y la buena educación, or the intimate alliance between the religion and good education. Y es español, Elcano el primero en dar la vuelta del mundo, and he is Spanish, Elcano, the first to circumnavigate the world. El combate, Orbistondo Terror de Jolo, or the Battle of Orbistondo Terror of Jolo. La entrada triunfal de los Reyes Católicos en Granada, the triumphal entry of the Catholic monarch into Granada. A year later, in 1877, he wrote more poems such as The Heroism of Columbus, Columbus and Juan II, Great Delays and Great Misfortune. A farewell dialogue of the students. At his 16 years old, Rizal experienced his first romance and its segunda catikpa, a pretty 14 years old Batangueña from Lipa, sister of his friend Mariano Katigpak. His sister Olympia was a close friend of Segunda in La Concordia College. Segunda was already engaged to Manuel Luz. His first romance was ruined by his own shyness and reserve. Segunda returned to Lipa and later married Manuel Luz. Rizal remained in Calamba at first state level, cherishing nostalgic memories of lost of love. Dramatic work of Rizal in Ateneo. Father Sanchez's favorite teacher asked him to write a drama based on a prose story of Saint Eustace the Martyr. Summer 1876 in Calamba, he wrote a religious drama in poetic verses. June 2, 1876, he finished the manuscript. And that is the scholastic triumphs of Rizal in Ateneo.